What's going on, y'all? Back with another conversation to have with you guys. Um, I don't know if you can hear that. Just got a new puppy, super cute corgi, but he's also kind of a crybaby. So apologies in advance if you hear some barking in the background. Not sure if the mic's picking it up. But today's conversation I wanted to have was about finding your tribe as a DJ. I was listening to the homie Rel's podcast, Rel and Friends. It's a great podcast about just creatives in general. He interviews creatives. He's a video guy and a real big hip hop guy. He's done some great things for the hip hop community in general. But I was reminded of a quote that one of his guests said that if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go with your people, go with a group. Terrible that I don't remember, but you get the general gist of it, right? Where DJing can feel like uh, a solo endeavor in a lot of ways, right? We are solopreneurs. We are the one person in control of the crowd, unless you're in like a duo or a group or whatever. But for the most part, the majority of DJs out there are their own entity. But what is important to remember is that just because we do the job alone a lot of the times, as far as our performance, doesn't mean that we shouldn't have a group or try to find a group of like-minded people that share our interests in the creative space, this creative space being music and DJing. I have been lucky enough during my time as a DJ to have ran into people that have become friends, have become mentors, that I've learned from, that I bounce ideas off of. And it has really, really helped my DJ, not only my career, but the way I look at music, the way I find music. A lot of times, when you have DJ friends, they'll put you on to something that you've never heard of before. And I will say too, it's not just an in-person thing. With the advent of the internet and social media, there are plenty of people that I've met, especially coming out of pandemic, that I met online, and maybe in the last few years I've actually met a few of them in person, thankfully, luckily. But those relationships were built online, and it just proves that it can very much so be done. I will say that I come from the generation of DJing where there was a lot of really big and imposing DJ crews. People like the Beat Junkies, Invisible Scratch Pickles, the Allies, Fifth Platoon, etc. If you're not really into the turntablist scene, you might not know these names. But even on the like party rockin' side, you have like the Junkies fall into that, or even was it the Big Dog Pit Bulls or whatever Funk Flex's crew was on the East Coast. The Heavy Hitters, great example, that are still around today. But it can get very lonely as a DJ if you don't really try to actively find those people that you share those kind of interests with. And while, especially for me, starting out when I was just starting doing this full time, and like I was so, I've always been about community. I've always been about like, you know, finding other people that like what I like. But also, when you're first starting out, it can be very daunting to like, when this becomes the way you pay your bills and the way you put food on the table and keep a roof over your head, you want to try to take every gig for yourself because you don't know when the next one's coming from, right? When there are times where I easily could have put someone else I knew in that place that would have done a better job than me, but I took the gig anyway. Not to say that I did a terrible job, but there's, I'm not great at every aspect of DJing by a long shot. And it wasn't until maybe a little bit later on that I realized that saying where, you do something nice, it'll come back tenfold. That really holds true a lot of the times in DJing in this industry. If you do favors for the right people, put people on, there's a good chance it'll come back around to you. That's happened to me time and time again in this game. And I've always said, like, it's something I'll do. I'll always try to put people on. And now that I have more resources and I have more power to book other DJs, it's something that I always try to do. If I know you can do the job well and you're a good person and we get along, I'll definitely try to, put some money in your pocket. And not only that, but like put you in opportunities that you might not have had before. I was just having a conversation with Jamie the Great from the Road podcast about this. Also, if you are a Road podcast listener, be sure to subscribe to the Patreon because I am officially part of the Patreon episode team. Those are exclusive episodes just for Patreon subscribers, and they're pretty good. It's more like the old school pod where we're just kind of catching up and shooting the shit. So really fun. But anyways, I was talking to Jamie about this, where I moved here to Vegas before he did, and we met through mutual friends. I heard him DJ, and we got along right away just because we're both from LA originally, born and raised, and we kind of hit it off as homies. And as soon as I got the opportunity to help him out in any way that I could, like when I got the opportunity to start a new party, like on an off night, Jamie was one of the first people that I wanted to be part of that, wanted to be part of the residence. Not only did I know, like, he was hungry, he would willing to listen and like ask, how could I get better? Really good energy. And all of those things combined just made me want to help him out. And later down the line, when they started the Road podcast, when the opportunity came for them to really dive deeper into the video side of things, he called on me because I've been doing YouTube for a while. I had camera equipment, I knew how to work it, I knew editing, and I rocked with the Road podcast for quite some time. Then, just things happened. I got busier, et cetera, and I kind of took a small break from the pod. Always a supporter. Those are my guys. And full circle again, when they wanted to start the Patreon thing, and they wanted people that they knew were, specifically in town, so they could always call on them to record episodes, but also had some knowledge about, the landscape of Las Vegas. They hit me up. Again, just because, I've been here a while. Downtown is a different beast than the Strip in a lot of ways. And, I've cut my teeth in both. But downtown's my home. And I give that kind of perspective on the pod. A more like low to the ground kind of street perspective, I guess. I don't know how to word it. But those are like examples of opportunities that, help somebody out because they're good people. It comes back around multiple times. And I've been stopped by other DJs asking me about the Road podcast because they know that I've been part of the team and like they've heard me on the pod previously. They hear me on the podcast again now. And it's a good feeling, right? And that's something that I wouldn't have if I was just so concerned with myself and just being solo dolo and just trying to push my career forward just by myself, by building out a network of other DJs that I now call friends, that I can call upon, and that, I give them gigs or just anything, or just sitting down and talking, or just grabbing coffee one day or grabbing lunch or whatever the case is, just to catch up. It's helped me so much in multiple ways, not just with the business side of things, but also the mental and emotional side of DJing. being able to talk to somebody that has shared experience and shared perspective, and like get their perspective as well. It's really just, it's so valuable. And it's something that I see a lot of younger DJs that are building relationships because they want it to be transactional, right? Instead of just building relationships to build relationships. And for many more seasoned DJs, promoters, managers, club operators, etc., it's kind of easy to see through that. While we might not play it off like that, just still be nice and shake hands and stuff. Like, you've been around this business long enough, you can kind of sense when somebody's just talking to you because they want something, not that they're talking to you because they want to build a relationship with you and see value in just being friends or being homies or just being acquaintances or coworkers, whatever the case is. Building a relationship because you want something rather than just building a relationship for the relationship. Very, very big distinction. And in the long term, building that genuine relationship will always get you further than trying to build a relationship because you think you can get something from that person and, step your game up a little bit more. And time again, I've seen the DJs that really invest their time to build genuine relationships make it way further in this business because they're known to be genuine people and not just trying to be friends with people because they want something. And it's kind of taboo to talk about. You might get called a hater or whatever the case is, but in reality, that's what it breaks down to. It's that if you're going to build a relationship with somebody, build it because you think that they'll add value to your life in some way. Life meaning your career, friendships, relationships, etc. Not because you think that they're the next stepping stone to the next part of your DJ life. You'll get so much further just thinking about not just the DJ world, but relationships in general in that way. I've gotten gigs, I've gotten opportunities from people that I've just built relationships with that aren't technically in the DJ world, but they might know somebody that needs, a DJ for a certain event, or, hey, do you think you can help me find a DJ, or I need DJ gear, I'm in town for a convention or a private event or whatever the case is. You never know where those opportunities can come from, and you'll never find those opportunities if you don't take the time to build those genuine relationships. So at the end of the day, just be a fucking good person, be nice, be helpful, and build those damn genuine relationships, and stop doing things because you think you can get something out of somebody. It's the fastest way to end your career. All right, that's all I got today. Once again, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you're looking for more DJ related content, click on one of the videos right here, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.